Hi, people of the world. I'm currently at Belle looking at the water like I do. I was on the phone with my aunt. She's like, so what do you do at Belle? I'm like, I just go and look at the water and I sit and think. Sometimes I listen to music. And yeah, very meditative being out here just in silence. I recently started listening to Stillness Speaks again by Eckhart Tolle, I believe. And yeah, about a year ago, I remember I was listening to it, and it was just very helpful with everything that I was going through to just embrace stillness and silence and just sitting there with yourself and your thoughts and your perceived flaws. And earlier today, I came across a video on shadow work, which I feel like this last phase, like the beginning so far of 2020, has been a lot of shadow work for me. And I saw a tweet by Londrell that said shadow work is light work. And it is so true. Shadow work really is light work. I feel like our shadow side gets a bad rep of being like our flaws and our bad habits and like all of these things, but the way that it was broken down was that your shadow side is really the innocence. Like your shadow side is your inner child, is your pure self. Your shadow side is more connected to your higher self a lot of times than like the conscious being of you. And really shadow work is about unmasking ourselves, because as we get older, we really build our conscious self out in our responses to people when they ask, who are you? What do you like? Tell me about yourself is like these stories that we tell. And a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of it is just storytelling and it's not really us. So the shadow work is really about unveiling that mask of what we have built into our life because it was necessary, and really getting into the depth of who we are inside, whether that can be seen as overly emotional or overly passionate, or being a closed off person, or honestly a lot of those things are mechanisms that we've built in our childhood because of trauma. So yeah, really to get into shadow work, it's about first going back into time and thinking of the first time that you were shut out or being bullied or not being appreciated by parents or friends or family or classmates, or even like maybe incidents that happen with teachers. Really a lot of things have affected us in our life. So it's about figuring out what instances happen in life that our inner side, is holding and it still has within it. And I don't think that shadow work is about clearing out the bad or just like hanging with your demons and chilling with them, which is what I feel like I've been doing this past few weeks a lot of times. But I think shadow work is about welcoming new experiences and new habits. I think it comes from wanting to be better, wanting to be a better person, wanting to clear habits. I know myself personally, I think the main thing that came to mind with me is having more healthy communication. I feel like as a child, I didn't see a lot of examples of my parents or people having conversations about emotions and their feelings that actually went well, that were actually facilitated in a healthy manner. I saw a lot of screaming, fighting, violence, and I wasn't taught a lot on emotional intelligence and dealing with your emotions and expressing your emotions. And I also didn't see a lot of healthy friendships and relationships that my parents or close family had to them. Like my mom, she never had a lot of female friends, and You know, I feel like my dad really, a lot of times I feel like sometimes some things that he did could have been seen as selfish. And I think it's really all in the eye of the beholder when it comes to what is being a good amount of selfish and selfish versus selfless. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of good examples of knowing when to put yourself first versus when to put other people first, or knowing how to work through issues without closing people out. And yeah, so I think just really thinking about the things that you struggle with in life, because a lot of them are based in trauma, which really discovering and diving deeper into our shadow self and doing that work to get comfortable, to familiarize ourselves with what lies beneath the surface of what we are and what we say and what we really feel and who we really are. I think that helps. That is what shadow work is. That is what it calls forth, is, you know, is stepping into that. And it can be very painful to go back into certain emotions, but it really is a part of releasing it, because, you know, our anger and our resentment and our grief and all of that, they are also emotions that want fluidity. They don't want to be stagnant and trapped in there. They want to come out. They want to be expressed. And, you know, that doesn't have to be through yelling. It doesn't have to be through kicking and screaming. It doesn't have to be through crying. But I feel like we should allow it to be whatever that is, whatever it comes out as. We should allow that. So I really just encourage you. I think anybody, if you clicked on this video about shadow work, you have an idea about it. You have an interest in doing it and becoming better. So I think really recognize the power of awareness. And yes, it can be hard to own up to some of the shit that you do and the self-sabotaging that you do and the bad, I won't call it bad, I'll just say the mechanisms that we've built over time to get through trauma, and just realizing that now you're a grown up in the grown world. Like, it's not just about healing, it's about really thriving and being your authentic self, really living that life as, you know, letting your shadow side out, letting yourself be creative and emotional and spontaneous, and really just welcoming every area of who you are and what you feel. I encourage you guys to keep going. If you're going, do not give up. It's very hard, but it's, you know, you got this. I believe in you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Let me know how your shadow work journey is going. Sending much love. Always like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Love you guys so much.